Welcome to the Temple of Elemental Evil, Episode 13.
I am Dreadmore, your Dungeon Master, and these are your players for Episode 13. Nyraxis, a 4th level Infernal Tiefling Draconic Sorcerer. Malik, a 4th level Cleric of Palor, who follows the Life Domain. Dusty Slay, a 4th level Gloomstalker Ranger of the Gnarly Forest. Octavius, a 4th level Stone Giant Goliath Wizard Evoker. Cantor, a 4th level Orc Monk. He is a warrior of the elements. Gothox, a 4th level Druid of the Gnarly Forest, who belongs to the Druid Order called the Circle of the Land. Let's continue our story. The chapter title is Infiltration of the Gnoll Ringfort, Part 3. Let us begin Part 3 of the Gnoll Ringfort infiltration. We start with 6 gnolls surrounding Gothox. 3 strike with rend attacks while the other 3 attack with bone longbows. Gothox is struck multiple times by both melee and ranged attacks. Due to his injuries, Gothox shapeshifts into a hawk and attempts to fly away from the surrounding gnolls. He is pursued by a single gnoll who hits Gothox with an arrow while in hawk form. Seeing the severity of his wounds, Gothox flies onto the roof of a large stone structure and successfully hides from the pursuing gnoll. The gnolls on the wall's ledge rain arrows down on Dusty, Cantar, and Malik, who are engaged in battle with 9 gnolls and 3 hyenas. Dusty and Cantar take out a few more gnolls and the rest of the hyenas. Malik casts Toll the Dead on multiple gnoll targets, causing good damage to them. Hisp fights another gnoll inside the entrance of the old temple. The combat is fierce, and in the end, Hisp falls unconscious to the enemy gnoll. Seeing this, Malik casts Preserve Life and sustains Hisp. Malik then heals the group, including Hisp, with a mass healing spell. The gnoll who attacked Hisp is taken down by the hero's attacks. Nyraxis, being invisible, takes a few rounds to reposition himself on the north side of the ring fort. Nyraxis then casts Witch Bolt on a gnoll, doing great damage. That same gnoll is taken down by a strike from Cantar that same round, with Nyraxis continuing to fly 15 feet above the ground. He lets off a couple of firebolt spells into the gnolls in front of the old temple. The gnoll pursuing Gothox notices Nyraxis floating in the air and lands a well-placed ranged shot, striking him with a critical hit. This devastating damage forces Nyraxis to flee into one of the stone huts, where he drinks a healing potion. Octavius climbs back up the hill to the ring fort wall. He decides to scale the wall and engages the 3 gnolls on the wall's southern ledge. He fires his Scorching Ray spells twice at 2 different gnolls, scoring direct hits and causing massive fire damage. The 2 gnolls struck by Scorching Ray attacks flee from Octavius. One goes over the wall and flees combat altogether. The other runs to the north side of the ring fort on the wall's ledge. The last gnoll chases Octavius and manages to strike him twice with his bone longbow before leaping over the wall to flee. The gnoll at the entrance also flees the ring fort. In the final moments of battle, giant rats pour out in all directions from the grain silo, some retreating while others bite at gnolls and heroes alike. After a few rounds, all the giant rats flee combat to the surrounding area. From here, our heroes are able to defeat the remaining gnolls of the ring fort. The adventurers search the fort and find decent loot. They also conduct a body count, which leaves 18 gnolls, 17 hyenas, and 4 giant hyenas dead. The heroes of Hommlet decide to camp inside the Ringfort overnight. After speaking with Hisp, they learn that this Gnoll tribe was crumbling. Most of the Gnolls had already left the fort and swore allegiance to the Temple of Elemental Evil. This tribe was known as the Broken Fangs, but now forever lost. They managed to sway Hisp off the path of evil, changing his alignment from chaotic evil to chaotic neutral. They also appoint him to a new occupation, Road Warden of the Cron Hills. He will now become this land's protector. The next morning, our heroes decide to rebuild and occupy the Ringfort in the near future. The party has leveled up to 4th level after killing 39 enemies inside the Ringfort. They set out for Verbabonk, traveling at a moderate pace. They reach the large historic city without incident. There, they would spend 6 days trading, selling items to the right buyers, and acquiring laborers, guards, and building supplies. This acquisition will help restore the Ringfort and create a traveling outpost. The party's mass treasure stock allows them to purchase a variety of magical items, potions, and scrolls, as Verbabonk's stock is unlike anything they have ever seen before. On the 7th day, they are asked to meet Lord Corbin Delavue. He has heard of their good deeds in Hommlet, as well as their recapturing of the Ringfort in the Cron Hills. He explains that he would like them to infiltrate Nob as bandits, so that they can gain access to hidden knowledge about the evil in that area. Any information they could find would be helpful. He also reveals that he has a few spies already embedded within Nob, and that if they encounter someone with a good heart or like-minded, they are probably an agent of Verbabonk. They accept his mission to Nob in true hero fashion. This is where we end this week of the adventure. Tune in next week to see how our heroes fare in Nob. What information or clues would they uncover? Join us next week for episode 14 of the Temple of Elemental Evil module.